Howdy, howdy, folks. A-Train here with you for a new how-to video on Sengoku Dynasty, now available on Steam in early access from Superkami Games and Toplitz Productions. This is a fantastic Japanese-style role-playing game, and we're going to go through the setup of the game, launching into it, how you control your character, and how you get started in running the game. So you have the main menu here with options on continuing, new game, load game. You can play in co-op mode, and the settings. You have gameplay settings where you can choose various settings to make you happy, particularly in language. If you want to go through various different, there's about 15 languages available. Your video settings were set up automatically, at least for me. Probably will be for you as well. If you want to make adjustments, you can do that. Audio settings, I have the master volume turned down slightly, music turned off, and effects on high. The sound within the game, the ambient sounds are fantastic. Now in your controls, you have your various sensitivities. It's a very simple game. It's very much like Medieval Dynasty. WASD moves around, left control crouches. And if you crouch, you can walk around while you're crouched, but you got to stand back up to run, jump, sprint, aiming with the right mouse button. In a future episode, we will show you that actually that's not entirely true. You do have some aiming that you just use when you set up with the left mouse button. Your primary interaction key is going to be the E key. Secondary is F key. Tertiary is more down the road. Handcrafting is Q, but you can't have anything in your hands when you're doing it. Tab or the I key brings up your inventory. Then you can pull up the legend, the quests, dynasty management, and the map, or just go directly to those pages and you can go back and forth. V changes your camera perspective. You have first-person perspective, and you have 3 different third-person perspectives from various distances. Quick slots that you can put items in, you have 1 through 12, which includes the 9, the 0, the hyphen, and the equals keys. And then the user interface gives you up and down, left and right, primary actions, what have you. Now, if you play on a gamepad, you'll just want to kick over to that, see what all that is. I don't, so I don't know. Accepting teleport is something we'll discuss in a later episode. And then your radial menu, you can accept, you can craft multiple items, and use the right mouse button to back up. All right, so we're going to set up a new game, click start, and the first time up, it's going to give you your loading screen and then take you through a whole video. We're going to skip past that and just go into the beach. So here we are. We're going to go into first-person perspective, take a look around here on the beach. Now I'm going to show you the different views. There's 1, 2, 3, and back to first person. That's using the V key. All right. So we're going to look around here. You right click to bring up your crafting menu. All right. And you can see all the different tools you can make. You see in the middle, it indicates what you need to craft an individual item. If there is a red logo on it, that means that you do not have what you need to make that item. If there's brown, you have it. If it's blue, it's locked and not available as yet. Some items are not available until you advance further in the game. Other items are just not available yet. This is your inventory. You pull up with the I key. In this case, we have a torch. We're going to click and drag that over to the equal sign key. And then I'm just going to move this piece of meat over. On the right, you see you have options of what to do with things. Your footwear, your clothing, hat, arrows. If you're wearing gloves. And then there's a thing, it's a little container. You can make them, but I'm not sure what purpose they really serve yet. I don't know if that's been implemented. Your money's at the bottom. Now, that's on character. Now you click on legend. This is where you do your skill advancement. As you gain XP, you can upgrade various skills to get various perks. The perks to unlock will indicate a number, and then you click on something, you make a choice. Once you unlock level 0, then that unlocks level 1, and so on and so forth. This has not been developed very far in the game as yet, as they're still in very early access and still working all that out. So if these work, then I'm sure later on other things will work, because then it's just a mathematical equation that's a little different. You get 10% advancement instead of just 5%. All right. When you select something, you click and hold the E key, and that's how it will kick forward for you. Under Monk, these are Kami shrines discovered. There's a couple you can unlock right away, although I've identified already a number of them on the map, and places of power which are not enacted as yet. Under quests, you'll see that you can turn the quest on or off. Notice there's nothing on the left-hand middle side of the screen. That's where your quest information appears. You go back into the menu, back into quest, and track the quest, and it will indicate over there what you need to do to keep you moving along. Under Dynasty, this is your kind of your village information here. It has your Dynasty legend, which really is the level. They may correct that at some point. I don't know. Number of villages. You can have multiple villages. How many villagers you have. You're homeless. No job. Tells you about your village. Tells you about the individual people in your village. And tells you about all the jobs available in your village, which at this point we don't have any. Now let's go to the map. You start up here in the upper left-hand corner. The first village you're going to encounter is just around this bend in this little inlet here. We'll come across that here at the end of the video. This is the map legend. As you encounter various things, it'll unlock and show. Year 1, spring, day 1 of 5. There's 5 days max. It's morning and the weather is partly cloudy. All right. You can advance forward to the next season. The seasons are 2 to 5 days each. All right. So WASD, if you combine forward and backward and one of the left or right keys, you'll move in circles or strafe left, strafe right, and that allows you to maneuver a little bit better. All right. To pick items up, you're going to use the E key. Things like stones, you see, you can actually reach them at quite a distance. All right. And then things you can't pick up, it won't let you pick up. Let's look at this stone over here. It's not going to let us pick it up. All right. Stones and sticks and things you've dropped, individual items, you just hit the E key, it picks it up. All right. But for some other things, as you'll see shortly, like if you're gathering something, you have to hold the key. All right. Now you have 36 slots in your inventory. In this case, though, the stones stack, and you can stack up to 25 in one slot. So you could really carry a lot of stones here, which is a little weird, but okay, whatever. You can see where the stuff's supposed to be stored, what the needs are, what the resale value is. You can drop it by clicking and holding the T key. I'll demonstrate that later. And you can split a stack if you want to, then click and drag and put it all back together. Now, here at our start site, we're going to run around. We're going to find some things. There's some sticks. There's some items over here, a plank. There's a wooden torch. You look around over to the right. Over here, there's a couple of little water containers. They're like bamboo containers. Crafting water is something we'll cover later. Firewood, you'll want to have that. Sake, well, that's good to have, but it's also good to sell. Back over to the boat, if you walk around it and then look to the right, you'll see another piece of flotsam over here. It's a box. It's got a couple of fish in it. Grab those. All right. And those will stack as well. We're going to come around to the other side of the boat. One more thing to look for here in this other crate. Look down. There's a stone knife. We could craft one of those easy enough. It's 2 stones and 2 sticks, but we don't need to do that right now. Now, for a hammer, you're going to have a log. But a stone axe, we have 3 sticks and 3 stones. Let's hit that, just click on it, and it crafts one. Now, if you want to craft more than one, it will be available as an option F, and then there's a slider as to how many you want to do. We're going to move that into hotkey 1, and I'm going to move this knife into hotkey 8. That's kind of the setup I use for Medieval Dynasty, so it kind of makes sense to use a similar setup here. Now, because I'm a little kind of, I'm not going to say OCD, I like to be organized. I like having my food up top here. And so we're done over here. There's another crashed boat, but there's nothing of interest here. So we're going to head over out of the bay here, and this is the only way to go, is under this little arch tunnel, bridge, overpass thingy. Now notice I'm running and jumping. See how the yellow stamina bar is going down? It goes down very quickly when you're running. And once it runs out, it slows you down to a walk. Now once you stop running, it regenerates very quickly, but that's based on how much food you have. If your food bar, the green bar, is full, then you will regenerate quickly. If it's not so full, it's slower. All right, so we're grabbing some Eulalia grass here. You can stack up to 100 of these in one slot, I think, and it's used in crafting structures. You dry it out to make straw for structures, and it's used in crafting other items, tools, and weapons. We'll gather some stone. If you already have something in a slot, you might as well max the slot out. It's not going to count against you. Now, right up on the hill from where we were, There's some wineberry bushes. This is a common food source in the valley. We'll grab a stick. If you see a bush, you harvest the stick by holding down E, and you'll see on the right how many you have. It's counting up. We picked up 3 sticks there. Also, there's gobo plants. These you collect, and you have to hold the E key down to grab them. You can stand in one space, but you have to release the E key on your keyboard, then re-tap it and hold it to pick up the next one. You cook the roots, and that's how you'll have some more food. We made an axe. We got to cut down a tree because we're going to have to craft a hammer here to build a campfire and a tent shelter for Akko. Don't let the tree fall on you. That's just good practice in my opinion. What we're going to do though is run over and we're going to whack it a couple more times. All right. Different trees give you different benefits. We start grabbing these logs here, and it says handcraft a hammer. So we'll grab the logs. We know we already have sticks, so we will just pull up the menu here and click on the hammer. Boom. And we have us a hammer. Let's put that into hotkey 5. That's where I like to put my hammers. And now we'll pull that up. And we've talked to Akko already. We know we need to make something out of this. So we right click on the hammer. You can demolish stuff. You can build basic structures. Here's a campfire. There's a little defensive thing. Again, you could build that because we have some sticks. You can't build the things with a blue indicator or red indicator. Those are further down the road. They're locked currently. All right. But you can make various simple things here, like a tent, like a wooden torch, and basic survival things. Now, we move around. Notice green means go. We can build this wherever it's green. Now it's blue. This means beat on it a little bit. In the bottom left, you'll see how many stone we need and how many sticks we need. And it counts them down as we whack. Notice your stamina does go down, and then it comes right back up very quickly. So now we have a campfire. Now we're going to build a tent. Right click, open the menu, go to basic structures. Tents down in the bottom left. Click on that. Now we have the ability to rotate this. We move around, or we can press the R key. Now if you press and hold the R key, it will rotate through 360 degrees of revolution. If you click the Y key, it will drop it down to 16 different directions on the compass. All right. So we'll place that. I suggest going in a third person furthest back mode while building, so that way you can align things up better with where you want them to be. All right. So we commit to building. It turns blue. Now you'll see the items count down as we whack on this with our hammer, and we build the tent. Now, wait, I'm not real happy with where we've put this. Notice the move option at the bottom. You press the E key. Now, we're currently in the same space. Notice if I move away from that space, I can drop it somewhere else. All right, this is not going to cost you anything. So we'll just move the tent over here instead. Click, boom, and we've moved the tent. All right, so Akko's got a fire to warm her up, and she's got a tent to sleep under instead of her bamboo raft. She's going to be happy. She's going to cook some fish, and we are going to collect some stuff. Now, having a conversation, you just push E, and there may be some options to the conversation. You click on what you think is going to work best and work your way through it. We're going to skip forward here so you guys can work through this. But it tells us to go to the nearest village, and we'll go there in just a minute. Oh, meanwhile, we can't pick up the ore, but we can grab a torch. We can get the lingonberries. Here's an important thing. That's all there is here. But you got to go out here to the flotsam because there's a bucket, and you want to get this bucket because you'll eventually use the bucket in the well, and you'll get containers of water. Now, how do we cook stuff? We go to a fire, E key. You got to have a stick to cook meat or fish. 1 stick per. You got 3 meat, you need 3 sticks. Gobu, you can click, and here we craft more. I'm going to select 24, but notice it says right click to stop. You can stop in the middle just in case you maybe didn't want to create so many things, because right now there is no quick crafting option. You have to sit and watch going through. Now the fish down here, we can hit F, craft more. We have 2 sticks. Boom, boom. And now we've got that. We got 3 actual fish out of 2 fish. So I'm not sure how that maths, but it works. So I rearrange things. If you want to drop something, you just hold down the T key, and then you'll see it at your feet. And that's easy enough. And that basically, as we go over here and we'll finish cooking off our cooked gobo. You know, you can also cook eggs, but you have to have a stone for every egg you want to cook. You look around, you'll find crow's nests. And there's 5 eggs in each, plus then you can collect the nest, which will give you some sticks and some bird feathers. You'll also get bird feathers out of chopping down trees. So we've organized things. Now notice it tells you where it's got to go. It's got to go in food storage, which is technically Dynasty food storage or Dynasty general storage. And it will tell you how much this actually feeds you. If there's 100 points in your hunger, this tells you what each little item will give you from an eating perspective. Meat gives you the most, then fish, various plated dishes will give you quite a bit. And as you get down the berries and the gobo, it's not quite so much, but it's also cheaper and easier to come by. All right. It's going to rain a lot. It rains a lot in the Nata Valley. Look to the right here. There's a fisherman in this little bay here. I think his name's Taro. You'll have a conversation with him at some point, and he'll tell you a little of this and a little of that. We don't need to worry about that right this second. We're going to continue down to the burned out village. You'll see there is an intact kind of home over through the trees here on the right. That has to do with your quest of helping 3 different people and building your dynasty rep, as it were. When you come into the village, you can approach the buildings. You can tear them down with an axe, which will give you some building supplies, and charcoal, which you'll want to save up. Wood will go into dynasty wood storage. Charcoal will go into general storage. And you come to the scavenger, and you start your adventure. And that is the basics, an introduction to Sengoku Dynasty. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on that bell icon so you know when we go live or upload a video. And put your comments and questions below. Join us on Discord, and your donations are welcome at paypal.me/atraingames. Link in the description below. Gang, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are on planet Earth or beyond. I'm A-Train. It's over, and I'm out.